Rex Heuermann, the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer, has been charged with the brutal murders of 2 additional women whose remains were discovered over 2 decades ago. This development comes after authorities uncovered a damning document in which Heuermann described his crimes in excruciating detail, prosecutors announced Thursday. Heuermann, 60, appeared in court in Riverhead, New York on Thursday morning, where he was arraigned on murder charges for the 2003 dismemberment of 20-year-old Jessica Taylor and the 1993 death of 28-year-old Sandra Castilla. He pleaded not guilty to the shocking charges, which followed an exhaustive search of his Long Island home just days earlier. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney disclosed that Heuermann had stored a blueprint of his crimes on a hard drive in the basement of his Massapequa Park home, which was recently searched for a second time. Tierney stated that the Gilgo Beach Task Force believes this planning document was used by Heuermann to meticulously plot out his kills. His motivations, meticulous planning, and clear intent were evident, Tierney told reporters on Thursday after the arraignment. His sole purpose was to murder these victims. Attorney John Ray, representing some of the victims' families, stated that this digital data was crucial to the new charges. He believed that none of these things he documented would ever be discovered because they were buried within his electronic devices, which he had erased long ago, Ray said. What he didn't anticipate was the sophistication of modern electronic data investigation, which ultimately uncovered this evidence. The disturbing document found in the accused killer's home, released shortly before the hearing, contains a series of checklists outlining tasks to complete before, during, and after the killings, along with practical lessons for next time. Among the numerous entries are reminders to clean the bodies and destroy evidence, to get sleep before hunt, and to have story set. A section titled Things to Remember appears to outline lessons learned from previous killings, prosecutors said, such as using heavier rope and minimizing noise to extend playtime. The body prep checklist includes, among other items, a reminder to remove head and hands. The former Manhattan architect, initially arrested in July 2023, has previously faced charges for the 2009 and 2010 murders of Megan Waterman, Melissa Barthelemy, Amber Lynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes, collectively known as the Gilgo Four, following the discovery of their remains in burlap sacks along Ocean Parkway. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. The bodies of the 4 women were the initial discoveries among a total of 10 found along a secluded beach parkway on Long Island between late fall 2010 and early spring 2011. Authorities have confirmed that all 4 women were sex workers. Jessica Taylor, a Poughkeepsie resident who worked as an escort in New York City, was found dismembered in a wooded area of Manorville, New York, on July 26, 2003. Her torso was found, but other parts were missing. Sandra Castilla, the second victim named in the indictment, was a resident of Queens whose remains were found on November 20, 1993, on Cove Road in North Sea, a Southampton town. She had not been included among the group of Gilgo Beach victims until now. During the hearing, Heuermann entered a plea of not guilty to the charges of killing Taylor and Castilla and was remanded without bail. His lawyer, Michael Brown, stated outside the court that Heuermann is obviously in a bad place in terms of the new charges. According to Newsday, Taylor and Castilla represent the earliest alleged victims of Heuermann having been murdered prior to 2007. This information was initially reported by the publication earlier this week upon news of the indictment. This marks the initial instance where he has faced charges related to victims whose remains were discovered dismembered and outside the confines of Ocean Parkway. This broadens the geographical scope of where he purportedly disposed of bodies by over 40 miles. Investigators are also looking at seemingly unrelated unsolved homicides, where there may be similarities among the victims, the crime scenes, or condition of the bodies. "We are not near the end of this investigation," one law enforcement official involved in the sweeping case said. "We are very much at the beginning."